Welcome to our first pitch deck speedrun. In this video, we'll show you how to build a professional grade pitch deck from ground up in less than 10 minutes. We'll be using the Natural Products Turnkey Pitch Deck template from vip.graphics as a starting point. The deck will be for a clean beauty and cosmetics brand. Without further ado, here's a template. I'm going to start with the cover slide and drop in my logo. First step in any of these pitch decks is going to be to apply your branding. You can see I have some assets here. I'm going to start by updating the color themes. If you're confused on how to do this, we have a separate video walking through, but I'm just going to drop in the colors and sort of try to match them to the shades we already have so we don't have to tweak as much later on. Once I've updated the colors, next step is going to be to apply the font theme, which should take only a moment. Certain fonts will require some manual tweaks. For instance, this heading font doesn't have an italics version, so we'll have to correct that. Now we can move on to editing the rest of the presentation. I'm going to start by finishing out this cover slide with a tagline as well as some simple product imagery. I've dropped in my image, made some layout adjustments. Time for the problem slide. I'm going to go with this template. We're going to start by talking about the drawbacks of existing products in the skincare, natural skincare, clean beauty space, how it's a specific pain points that affect consumers on space, and some stats to support that. There we go. We've got a problem slide. Now back to styling, we're going to drop in the logo into the slide master so that this appears on every slide. This gives the presentation a nice branded feel, and I'm going to update the heading font color while I'm at it. All right, let's continue. Next step's going to be create the solution slide. I'm going to choose this slide from the template, update the heading, and we're just going to drop in some quick benefits, nice tagline that summarizes the core value proposition, and of course, no deck would be complete without some product imagery. If you're building a startup that doesn't have products ready yet, try to get some 3D renders, mock-ups, AI, whatever you can do to make the product feel real. Moving on, next slide is going to be the market slide. We're going to drop in some stats about the total addressable market. Cam Sam Som, most founders should be familiar with that. And on the left side, some additional stats to support growth and why now is the right time to invest into space. Great, we've got a compelling market slide done now. Let's move on to the next page. Target consumer slide should speak to some of the demographic details about your consumer as well as their buying behavior and common traits. Moving on to the competition side, we're going to go with a classic 4-quadrant diagram. The axes are going to be truly natural skincare versus greenwash products, and whether you have a holistic suite or just a few solutions. Been drop in our logo in the top right as usual, and then some other logos people will recognize in the beauty space to fill out the rest. On the right side, we want to highlight some of the unique selling points and differentiators that make this product stand out. Next up, we got the validation side. This is a great place to drop in some quotes from customers, a social proof, and also some logos, whether that's partners, press, customers, whatever it may be, just to demonstrate that you've validated demand for achieved product market fit. Moving on, the next slide is going to be go-to-market strategy. We want to again show some logos of retail locations or distribution partners, as well as some stats to support, and a simple map diagram to show the geographic footprint of your brand. Next up, we've got business model. This side's going into the unit economics, broken down by a product line, showing profitability, gross margins, and we'll also do a basic through revenue projection or sales projection calculation, further demonstrating profitability. Next is a projection slide. Pretty straightforward. You're always just going to drop in your P&L statement, usually on an annual basis. So we're just going to skip this for now. You'll usually have the separate financial projections or model prepared. Copy that data in here. Investment side is pretty straightforward as well. You just want to say how much you're raising and what you're going to do with it, whether that's a revenue target or specific milestones. And also use of funds pipe chart to just show how you're allocating the capital you're receiving. The team slide should demonstrate your experience. Some people talk about their roles in the company. You want to really focus on what you've achieved before and how that positions you to be the right people to build this company. So including years of experience, any logos of notable companies where your team members worked before. So it's a great idea. And headshots to make the presentation personable. Finally, we're going to want to fill in the roadmap slide. I'm going to populate this with some placeholder milestones that you typically see in a CPG or beauty pitch deck. So you might want to take a closer look if you're in that space at what we're putting in here, but really you want to speak to both the product development milestones as well as the growth and marketing milestones that you plan in the next 12, 18 months as well as further into the future. And finally, No pitch deck is complete without a compelling call to action. In an investor deck, you're going to want to include your contact information. And there you go. We got a completed presentation for natural beauty and skincare brand. If you're looking for a great starting point to build your presentation, check out our templates again at vip.graphics. Hope this helps.